Unit 1. Listening 1. Activity A.
Interesting.
What are you doing, Ben?
Oh, hi, Saud. I'm looking at this company's website. I want to work there this summer.
Braxton Books. That's the big bookstore downtown, right?
Right. I'm reading all about the company. I want to see what kind of summer jobs they have. Hey, look at this. There's a link on the website for jobs.
Careers at Braxton Books. Click on it. Let's see what it says.
Okay.
Oh, look. Click on this. It's a web video with information about jobs. Let's watch it.
Thank you for your interest in careers at Braxton Books. Our company began 10 years ago and it is still growing. We opened our first store in Chicago in 1998. We had 25 employees then. Today, we have over 200 stores and 6,000 employees around the world. In 2009, we started our e-book business. It was a big success. We plan to continue growing our online library. We hope you'll join our team and share our success. Are you looking for an interesting job? Braxton Books has job openings for great people. Right now, we have positions for salespeople and web designers. If you'd like to join our team, please listen to the requirements for each job. Here are the requirements for salespeople. You need 1 to 2 years of experience in sales. We also require some basic computer skills. Our stores are very busy, so you must be organized. Finally, you must be friendly and enjoy working with people on a team. Braxton Books needs web designers for our ebook department. Here are the requirements for the position. You must have at least 5 years of experience in web design and excellent computer skills with different computer systems. We prefer people with a college degree in web design. We are looking for organized people who have new and interesting ideas. If you are interested in one of these jobs, please come to one of our stores and complete an application, or print the application from our website and bring it with you to one of our stores. If you meet our requirements, we will contact you for an interview. Thank you again for your interest in working at Braxton Books.
Wow, it sounds like a great place to work.
It sure does. Well, what are you waiting for? Print the application. Unit 2. Listening 2. Activity A.
1. João from Brazil.
When I came to the United States to study, a lot of things were different. The language, my classes at the university, I knew about those cultural differences. But one day, I went to the university bookstore to buy books for my history class. There was another student standing in front of the shelf. I stood next to him and started to look for my book. Then he looked very upset and said, "Excuse me," and moved away. I didn't know what was wrong. I was confused. I learned later that you shouldn't stand very close to other people in the U.S. It's rude to stand too close.
2. Tanya from Russia.
Last summer, my company sent me to work for 2 months at our head office in Toronto. It was a great experience. My Canadian co-workers were really friendly, and I learned a lot. There was one funny thing that happened. When it was time for me to leave, my co-workers gave me some very nice gifts, and they gave me flowers. 6 flowers. In Russia, it's okay to give an odd number of flowers, for example, 1, 3, 5, but you shouldn't give 2, 4, or 6 flowers. We only do that when a person dies. I wasn't really offended. My co-workers didn't know our custom, but some other Russians may feel angry or upset at this.
3. Rick from the U.S.
My friend Hiro got married last summer in Japan, and he invited me to the wedding. It was a great trip. I really enjoyed meeting Hiro's family and the other guests at the wedding. Many people gave me business cards. I was a little surprised. In the U.S., we only use cards for business, so I didn't bring mine. I just took the Japanese people's business cards and put them in my pocket. After the wedding, I learned that it's not polite to do that. You should always take the cards with 2 hands and read them carefully. I only used 1 hand, and I didn't read them at all.
Unit 3. Listening 1. Activity C.
Every year, millions of people visit famous places around the world. Tourism can be good. Tourists spend money. This helps local businesses and makes jobs for local people. But tourists can also cause problems. What are the effects of having tourists, and what are people doing to help?
This is the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China runs 8,852 kilometers across the north of China. Some parts of the wall are over 2,000 years old. About 53,000 tourists visit this amazing site every day. That's about 10 million visitors a year. When tourists' buses and cars drive near the wall, it shakes the very old stones. Also, visitors usually walk on top of the wall. Over many years, those millions of walking feet have begun to destroy large parts of it. Many areas of the wall are now closed to visitors. Some people say that if we aren't careful, the future of this amazing place is in danger.
Here we are at the Galapagos Islands off the coast of Ecuador. The Galapagos Islands are in the Pacific Ocean near South America. The 19 main islands are home to thousands of plants and animals. About 175,000 tourists visit the islands every year. They come on planes or boats from many different places. And these planes and boats sometimes carry insects that don't belong in the Galapagos Islands. This is dangerous for the local plants and animals. Now airlines must spray visitors' clothing and bags with a special liquid to kill any insects before they get off the plane or boat.
Next, we visit Antarctica. Most people don't think of Antarctica as a good place for a relaxing vacation, but some say it's one of the most beautiful and interesting places on Earth. The first group of tourists arrived there in 1956. There were only about 500 visitors a year then. Today, there are close to 50,000. The growing tourist business is causing pollution, changing the land, and causing problems for animals. For this reason, tourists must follow special rules. For example, they cannot feed animals, move or take any plants, and they must wash their boots before walking to a new area.
Unit 4. Listening skill. Activity A.
Welcome. We have a special show for you today. We're going to talk about Charles Dickens, the man, his life, and what makes his books so funny. The number is 555-1167. Call us and tell us why you love Charles Dickens. First, a bit of background about Charles Dickens. He is the author of 15 novels, including some of the most famous stories in history. He is known for his sense of humor and the unusual and funny situations and people in his books. Dickens was born in Landsport, England on February 7th, 1812, exactly 200 years ago. In 1817, his family moved to Kent in the southeast, where Dickens spent most of his younger years. Many of the people and places in his books are similar to his memories from this time. As a young boy, he enjoyed spending time outdoors, but his favorite hobby was reading. Surprisingly, for such a talented writer, Dickens did not have much formal schooling. At the age of 12, Dickens had to stop school because of his father's money problems. For a time, he had to work at a shoe polish factory in London, a very difficult experience for a boy. However, these challenges helped him become a great writer and storyteller. Dickens' first professional writing job was writing for the London Monthly Magazine. His first novel, Pickwick Papers, quickly became a hit. Soon, it seemed everyone in London was reading and talking about Charles Dickens. He was a huge success. In his other works, Dickens went on to create many interesting and funny characters, with comical names, such as Ebenezer Scrooge, Oliver Twist, Nicholas Nickleby, and Polly Toodle. Readers say Dickens described each character so well, they feel as though they know them personally. 200 years later, Dickens is one of the most famous comic writers of all time, and students in schools around the world still read and study Dickens' work. So, Charles Dickens fans, what do you think makes his writing funny? What's your favorite book, or your favorite funny scene in a Dickens book? Let's go to the phones and find out. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Karen.
Hi, Karen. Tell us why you enjoy reading Dickens.
Well, when I read his books, they just make me laugh. The characters are so unusual, and the conversations between the characters are often very funny.
Yes, I agree. Thanks, Karen. Next caller, you're on the air.
Hello. My name is Ernesto.
Hi, Ernesto. Why do you like Charles Dickens?
I like the way Dickens can make a sad situation seem funny. Many of his characters have difficult lives, or they don't have money or food to eat. But somehow Dickens helps us see humor in the sad parts of life.
That's great. Thank you for your call. All right. It looks like we have time for one more caller. Next caller, what do you think?
Unit 4. Listening Skill. Activity B.
Unlike some authors who only have 1 or 2 hits, all of Dickens' 15 books became very famous. One of his most popular works is David Copperfield. David Copperfield was Dickens' 8th novel, which he wrote in 1849. In the book, the main character, David, tells the story of his own life. Like Dickens, David has a difficult life when he is young. His parents die when he is a boy, and he must go to work in a factory. Many parts of the story are sad, but as always, the way Dickens describes his characters makes readers laugh. In the end, David becomes a successful writer and lives a happy life. Late in his career, Dickens said that David Copperfield was his favorite of all of the characters in his books.
Unit 5. Listening 1. Activity A.
All right, let's get started. For today's class, I've invited a special guest speaker. This is Dr. Tom Wilkins from the Sports Science Center. Dr. Wilkins led a study on the benefits of doing sports. He's going to tell us about that today. Please welcome him.
Good morning. Thank you. First, let's think about how sports are important in our lives. Sports have been an important part of human life for a very long time. We know that people were playing and watching sports 4,000 years ago in Egypt and Greece. And many sports that are still played today began thousands of years ago in China. So, why do humans enjoy sports so much? What are the benefits? The first important benefit of doing sports is that it helps us stay healthy. It's important for us to be active. When we play sports, especially when we do a lot of running, our heart goes faster and moves blood to the different parts of our bodies. Our muscles work hard and become stronger. All of this helps us feel better and live longer. Another way that doing sports is helpful is that it can improve our learning. Exercising and moving our bodies wakes up our brain, so it is active and ready to learn. We can concentrate and learn better. For example, my study showed that children who do some kind of sports usually do better in school. One more important thing that sports do is bring people together. Playing a sport is a great way to make friends. Being part of a team and working together are important skills for life, for example, at school or at work. In addition, watching sports can be good for us. Many people enjoy watching their favorite team play a soccer or baseball game on TV, or even going to see a live game. Watching sports is fun and relaxing, so it helps lower stress. Finally, when people have a favorite sports team, they feel like they are part of a group, almost like a family. It's a good feeling. So doing and watching sports have benefits for all of us.